Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to the first ever Open Cup Grand Final played on the new patch. As today we have in the bottom left, hailing all the way from Denmark, some call him a prince. For us he's just MaxPax. And in the top right as our red Terran player, playing for Liquid with the polar bear around his command center on the decal, it is Clem. So you have a Protoss versus Terran here. Some TVP action in the early game as Max opens up with a standard core before Nexus. And now, if there's one thing about MaxPax that we need to know, it is that he likes repeating what he has done before. So despite this being a new patch, despite these being new maps, I'm expecting similar strategies to what we have seen before. I don't think we're gonna see a whole lot of new things. I just don't think it's gonna happen. I just don't buy it. I simply just don't buy it. Now, what does that mean? It means we're most likely going to be seeing just a standard Twilight Council opener, 3-gate, maybe a 4-gate pressure if anything. Following that up into some type of 8-gate play. Isn't necessarily bad, of course. There's just more options right now in the early game for Protoss. Oracle opener is very powerful. 2 or 3-gate blink into the Robo Bay actually has a lot of strength as well. MaxPax here shading away with that first adept. It's going to cost him 2 probes at least, I think. Oh, just 1 probe for now. Loses a bunch of mining time though. Starting to wonder if this is really worth it. 2 Marines are out pre-reactor. Clem is perfectly set up to deal with all of this. Look at that timing on that bunker. Talking about a sweet, sweet timing. Reaper now is heading in towards the natural as the adept once more is out of position. MaxPax here. Very sloppy play in the early game. Loses his second worker. As Clem jumps up here. He's going to keep the Reaper alive. Could shoot some of these adepts on the low ground. Now what is MaxPax achieving here? He's denying a little bit of mining on the other side of the map, but all of his mining in his own natural is being denied. At the same time, this Reaper already has 2 kills. That's worth quite a bit. There's hardly any oversaturation at all. And now the first Cyclone is out. And that means that these adepts will need to piss off out of here. Here comes the Cyclone, 1 adept. Just straight up going to die. There's no 2 ways around it. Now, this SCV will fall as well. That's frustrating, of course. This Cyclone's going to make its way perhaps across the map. Maybe just be used for some defensive purposes. As I do believe that the Reaper during all of this has also fallen. Starport finishes up as it's a Cyclone into a double mine drop here. We're gonna have to wait and see how Clem is going to use all of these units. If this is going to be some type of aggressive play with a bunch of Marines here. If he's just gonna stay at home with the Marines and the Cyclone and use the medevac for dropping. Don't forget that the Raven also has lost quite a bit of its value. So I'd be surprised to see a Raven popping in on here. It's still possible, of course. Like all of these things are still possible. There's alternatives. Clem's someone who had been playing the new patch an insane amount, while MaxPax tended to stick to his guns and just playing some old patch games. Adept's gonna make its way in towards the main base. That should be a finish, I think. Or should it be? The Cyclone is nearby, and the Cyclone kills gateway units pretty quickly. Beautiful switch as well there with the SCVs. Seamless process here for Clem, who's just so freaking quick when it comes to clicking things. It really feels almost unfair. MaxPax indeed with a 3-gate blink opener as this medevac, yeah. It's gonna just chill in the dead space here. There's a lot of dead space on these new maps in general. Feels like every base is its own little dead space. Not a huge fan of that as a Protoss, but it is what it is, I guess. Robobase gonna be plopped down over here. MaxPax indeed with a slightly different opener than what we've seen before from him. Very fast rush into Robobase. Now why is that more popular right now? Is because a single Raven doesn't just straight up kill this build. In order to kill this build, you need to research the interference matrix, which is very costly. Not so much in resources, but in time. It costs you quite a few. It also costs a little bit in money, but mainly time is the issue. Shows the prison here. It's gonna start fighting this depot. How many tanks do we have already? There's 2 tanks out. There's no 3rd tank on the way. As now the mine drops are coming in. MaxPax gonna spot that, lose just 3 probes, kills both mines. Bit of mining time gone as well. Not the end of the world though, as the first Colossus starts, but that is a very late start for a first Colossus, let me tell you. What is it? 5 minutes and 55 seconds into the game. This Raven is now heading out on the map. Stalker's trying to go across as well. This Raven is just not being spotted whatsoever. 2 observers out. Max hoping to deal some damage. Gonna lose the observer for, well, not for free. His scan has been used to kill it. Stalkers in the main will make sure that this Raven can't deal too much damage. And so far hasn't dealt any damage whatsoever. There's charge on the way. 3 gateways out already. Second Colossus should start instantly. Bit of a supply block here for El Maximus di Paximus. Frustrating stuff. I can only imagine. Now some of these SCVs are being targeted down, and starting to like this position more and more here for Clem, honestly. Hardly losing any workers. What did he lose so far? Five workers. No, wait, he killed 5 workers. No, wait. How can I not remember what this means now? I think this means that 5 red workers have been killed. For a second, I'm real confused. Let me check. No, okay, it means that he has killed 5 workers. Good. Sometimes you just completely forget what things mean. So yeah, the Clem definitely in a pretty decent position here. Of course, the Reaper killed 2 workers already. Never could have been the other way around. Oh no. This is a powerful push. I don't quite think it's going to be powerful enough to get a straight up win, but it might be powerful enough to be very annoying over here as these Stalkers are being taken out. No blinking here whatsoever. Maximus Paximus in a little bit of trouble. When it comes to these Stalkers, resources lost very close so far. There is range on these Colossus that makes it a lot easier to deal with any of these potential threats. The Prism now is potentially heading in towards the main. Are there any Zealots in this Prism? Not quite. You have the Colossus just swiping these Marines away. Pretty poor fight initially for Clem. Don't forget that the current warp gate count is at 6. That means that we have 6 Zealots being, you know, warped in at the same time. No Guardian Shield being used here, as we have the Super Battery now helping from a distance. I think this is exactly the way you want to clean this up. This is exactly the way you want to clean this up. Using the Super Battery just to kill those tanks. Sentries have used all of their force fields as a single drop is heading towards the top far left side. Raven still in the main base as these 2 Stalkers are just guarding it with their life. Zealot Rumba being sent out, and this is where MaxPax starts to shine. We've had a game with a few interactions already, but these are the interactions in which MaxPax is the best. There's a random Stalker that has just managed to pop in forward. There's more Stalkers now trying to move out across the map, and there's 7 Zealots here moving towards the top right. No cannon in this base. Fort Colossus is out. It seems to me that MaxPax here is planning on something of an attack. Mines have set up shop here in this base. Stalkers now moving forward as 3 Zealots try to run in towards this area. 2 mines will detonate. And 3 Zealots will go down. At the same time, here comes the Zealot run by towards the natural. Doesn't quite work out. This does allow a tiny angle here, though, for MaxPax. Which is going to continue kind of ping-ponging in between these 2 bases with the Zealots. Zealots just barely out of range. Interesting 2 force fields. These medevacs are so low right now. Drop is being cleaned up, but 7 workers have gone down. This is such an awkward situation right now for MaxPax. I feel like he's so all in with this. Now, there are 2 Vikings out. I'd love for Clem to continue constructing those. Yeah, 2 more do pop up over here. It's going to bring the total up to 4. And I think MaxPax still needs to push, but I don't think he can really push in right now. 4 Colossus versus 4 Vikings. There's so many Marauders in this army. +2 on the way for Clem. Fort base being thrown down here for Max as well. And now it's probably Clem's turn to say, hey, wait a second, mate. Do you actually have that many units? Is your army really this large? And I think the answer might be just no. We have DTs now being set up for some harassment. I love this. I feel like nowadays we don't see pro... Oh my god, that was an insane blink. But we don't see pro players use DTs enough for... kind of as a surprise. Nowadays it's always being used in combination with blink. They're not being used like this anymore. And this is going to deal some serious damage because Clem wasn't quite ready for that. MaxPax with a brilliant play here, saying, hey, when behind Dark Shrine, isn't that one of the rules that I heard the old guys talk about? Like mumbling in their sleep. Indeed it was MaxPax. Kills his own Stalker. Also takes out the Widow Mine there. Probably should have used the Stalker that was a bit higher HP. Clem dealing with this much better than I think he ever should have. Taking only 6 worker damage, but also losing a lot of mining time. And losing a lot of time in which he could be moving out. Now the fort base is established. MaxPax 65 workers is mining completely from there. Prism still stuck in this corner. Not being taken out by any Vikings right now. So Clem lacking a little bit of object permanence there. Forgetting that if the, the Prism moves into the dark space, it still really is there. One very annoying thing here for MaxPax is his lack of vision on the move out timing, because it means he can't make an accurate call on when to move in with potential run-bys or when to send the Prism back in even. There's a bunch of Ghosts and Marines just kind of standing here on the edge. What they don't know is that the Prism is just on the top right. Now we have a move out, and I hope this Zealot is not going to walk into its death here. It is. That could be some real important information. I really want to figure out when this is coming to you. Okay, let's see. This is going to get spotted. Is the Prism going to get sent in instantly, or what is the plan here, Max? Got spotted. Nothing happened so far. MaxPax just remaining calm, remaining patient. Observer moving into a location now to try and get a little bit more information. More observers moving across the map in general. This bad boy is also going to siege up. Not being spotted quite yet by Clem. Seeing this army surely is going to embolden this Prism to try and go in, no? I feel like this is such a prime opportunity, seeing a Prism seeing an army move out like that. Clem is maxed. There's nothing else in production. A Prism right now could be absolutely detrimental as there's nothing here. Max, hello? Alright, not happening. 5th base gets cancelled. Disruptor shot is going to get sent in. Like, these are the best timings to go in when your opponent is maxed and completely out of position. Could be huge. 10, 12 worker kills, maybe getting an eBay even. eBay, maybe an armory on the same time. Denying this fusion core from building. These are all big things you could be trying to achieve here. But MaxPax so far setting up very defensively. 4 Colossus, 3 Immortals, 1 Disruptor here in the comp. The Viking count is at 9. Is that enough? I think it is, yes. EMP not quite connecting, as the first Viking shots definitely are connecting. 1 Viking for a Colossus. That's a trade Clem is going to be very happy with. This area seems insane to defend. Holy crap. How are you supposed to manage this as a toss? Huh? Tell me that. Prism still stuck in that space. Guardian Shield needs to be used here before the EMPs are gonna connect. Good Purification Nova there. 15 Zealots just get warped in as the Super Battery is helping out, but these Vikings are just kiting a little bit too effectively. Oh. You thought he did something good, Clem, taking out some units, but here comes the massive warping in towards the main base. That's a lot of DTs, by the way. These DTs are here for one thing and one thing only. That's slicing and splicing. Well, that's 2 things, but you know what I'm saying. They're very similar, slicing and splicing. We're gonna have another warp in here, most likely. Clem right now stuck in the middle fighting, which is exactly where he doesn't want to be. It is MaxPax who is calling the shots in this first game so far. Prism warps in 2 more DTs. 11 SCVs have gone down. This 5th base is going to get denied as well, as the 5 Immortals in this army with their big guns are dishing out a lot of freaking damage. Fusion core still researching. I hope that advanced ballistics is going to get cancelled here. Disruptors. Can we get the Purification Nova shots in? Well, not quite. So MaxPax still needs to be somewhat careful. Only is on 8 gateways. And 8 gateways isn't a whole lot. Here comes the Stalker warp in just in time to deal with these lips. That is if he actually moves in with these Stalkers. There we go. 2 Liberators are going to get taken out. 3rd Liberator now wants to siege up. Viking showing up to finally deny that Prism. And the Prism will get denied indeed. MaxPax moving in aggressively. I think perhaps a bit too aggressive here for now. Has a 5th base on the way. Has decent eco. 72 workers to 61. But his army... Is his army really an army that could be on a map like this? There's 7 Immortals out. That is a huge Immortal count. This Purification Nova is going to move in. 2 Ghosts get taken out. That means there's only 1 Ghost remaining. That's going to make this Gate Immortal army so much more viable. So much harder here to eat up for Clem. He's gonna need some of these EMPs. He's produced 1 more Ghost, but he's gonna need more. All of these medevacts, look at that energy. Where is that purple bar? Currently it doesn't exist. just doesn't exist. So every stim is a painful one. Here comes a very big EMP. Both disruptors do get sniped. Immortals are blasting through this immortal-based army, though. SCVs are getting pulled. Vikings need to land. Liberator needs to siege up. They're on the same control group as the main army. They're kiting with the main army. That's not how you want to be using Vikings or Liberators, for that matter. Now we finally get that siege up. But there used to be an orbital here. And now it's gone. MaxPax part-time magician in his free time. Making stuff disappear. Except usually with magicians, you're getting it back. MaxPax takes your watch and it ain't here no more. Pew. Now I'll smack it with a hammer. Liberator's gonna get caught in the journey towards what is most likely the fort base. Will not quite get there yet. It's going to reroute and set up shop eventually. This third base here for Clem is in a world of trouble. This immortal field army with a couple of disruptors just mixed in is performing extremely well. Oh, one immortal gets caught on the wrong side of the road. Not quite where you want to be. Liberator. Liberator setting up at a base that isn't even mining yet. Now gonna move towards the third. Gonna keep all of that in mind as Clem actually getting some okay trades here. Fighting against these zealots is very easy for Clem because it's a good army that can kite. Now immortals were being targeted down as well. Medevac still extremely low on energy. Do we actually have those advanced ballistics? Yeah, we do. Ship weapons level 2 getting close to finishing up as well. These are game-changing upgrades, alright. Would love to see these rocks just being taken out. The moment Liberators are out as a Protoss, you really benefit from having a more open map. A map where it's easier to rotate at all points. And taking out the rocks tends to be a good thing. This was a nice fight, by the way, from MaxPax. Very solid fight. Anytime he can fight without Liberators being set up, it's going to be a good fight. MaxPax also aware of the complete lack of mining for Clem. Clem has a lot of orbital commands, but doesn't have the bases to saturate. Feels a little bit useless. It's like having 6 cars, but not being capable of getting any gas, so you can't drive them. This command centers or orbital commands in a bit of trouble here. I think taking out these rocks would make this much more palpable here for MaxPax. Orbital command now it's just flying by. So they drew up a peace act between the stalkers and the orbital commands. Like, when we're flying, you can't shoot us. MaxPax is like, alright, we won't do it. We won't do it, my friend. Interesting blink forward here. Trading the 2 mines. Planetary dies. Now, this is an absolutely key moment here for Max. He needs to get this army out alive. And he just needs to run with it. That is the only thing he needs to do right now. He can probably fight, but I just don't think he needs to. All he needs to do is run. Run, run, run. Keep your immortals alive and run for your freaking life. Okay, here we go. Now he's gonna try and fight because immortals aren't great at running, apparently. He's gonna lose a bunch of these. This is a bit scary because there's only one push that Clem still has. And now you're kind of allowing your opponent to, to go for that push here, Max. That is scary. DTs and Zealots are, of course, taking out all the reinforcements, which is great. And I don't think this is going to kill. I actually know for a fact this isn't going to kill. We have 12 Stalkers being warped in the main base. That means that these medevacs cannot quite get there. One gets taken now. GG gets called as MaxPax wins game number 1. Game number 2 here starts without a scout for Clem, which is kind of rare. If there's one thing that Clem absolutely loves to do, is sending a scout across the map and pretending that it's doing something for him. And the one time he doesn't do it, the Zealot is making its way across the map. So if there's ever a time that the Zealot isn't completely useless, it would be this time. Adept is popping out here. It's a really fast rush distance, by the way, on this map. Holy crap. Is Adept perhaps in some trouble? Zealot making its way across. Are you going to be capable of doing something here, buddy? I think the answer might just be a big, fat no. SCV now being targeted down. One SCV will fall. Now the most important thing is getting this bunker up, of course. Depot needs to be constructed and a Cyclone start instantly as well. Hoppa, that's the second SCV going down. Okay, this Zealot's actually putting in some work. It's the first time in my life that I've seen a Zealot do some work. Guys are slow, they're bad, they don't really do anything. Max trying to take out this Reaper is obviously not going to work. There's a bunker there. It's going to lose the Adept though. It's now also going to lose this Zealot. So, is this really worth it? There's significant delay on that command center. Can't really afford to lose another Adept though. That would be silly. Reaper's gonna go down. Wow, okay. Sloppy play here by Clem. That was absolutely not necessary. Wants to dodge that shade with the Cyclone. Okay, won't dodge the shade with the Cyclone. MaxPax gonna lose the Adept. Anyway, this has been kind of weird game so far in the early game. I think probably worth it here for MaxPax. As Clem is moving into a standard setup here. Going into at least a single mine drop. Perhaps a second one. Who knows? No one knows. As we're going for 3-gate blink here. Second gas, perhaps? No, not quite the case yet. Ooh, actually, never mind. This is a 4-gate blink. Oh boy, how wrong was I? What an idiot I can be sometimes. Prism now in production. It's a minor worker cut, but this is the standard. This is exactly how MaxPax imagines it in his head. This is how I imagine it also in my head. This is how it's supposed to be after all. Double medevac drop moving out across the map. Now, the problem with this medevac drop, you know what it is? Is that you can't kill it. If the Terran just leaves it here, you're forced to leave 3 Stalkers at home, and all of a sudden your push is pretty freaking crap. Ain't that the truth? Medevac here didn't quite get scouted. Did see everything though that MaxPax was building. And as a result, well, almost gets spotted there. Not quite. This is going to deal some serious damage. This is going to deal some serious damage. MaxPax playing very risky, moving out with everything. Attacks his own Twilight Council there. 4 Stalkers aggressively, that's nice. 3 workers have gone down already, as another mine is gonna get put down. And this is where Clem shines. Oh, big blink on top of this bunker. Clem just in position. This is, I think, the best counter I've seen in my life versus the 4-gate. He just knew exactly what Max was gonna do here. Double bunker on the low ground. Mine drop, in which one of the mines is still alive, by the way, so it's gonna come back. This has been some phenomenal micro, some great play out of Clem saying, hey, MaxPax, don't you play this build every single game? Guess what? I've got a counter to it now. And it's just being very freaking good. A couple of these Marines not quite in the bunker are actually going to take some damage. Max here putting in serious work. There's no second tank yet, and this bunker taking quite some damage. MaxPax mismovement. A little bit of a mismove there. A little bit of a mismove. As this mine is still looking for something. Look at this guy go, man. This mine loves life right now. This mine is loving life. Just chilling in the medevac. But that guy's gonna fly another mission soon, let me tell you that much. Whoop! Big blink there on the tank. MaxPax dealing a lot of damage. Prism not there for micro though. Losing way more Stalkers than he usually does. This is not the MaxPax that we know and love. This is an imposter. And I've heard before is that what's the guy called? Paul McCartney, the guy at the Beatles, is an imposter as well. He got replaced in, I think, 1966 or so. It's one of the conspiracy theories of Beatles fans. Yeah, even Beatles fans have conspiracy theories. MaxPax might be the same, because this Blink Stalker micro here, this ain't the real packs, is all I'm saying, alright? This ain't the real packs. 5 SCVs here are being taken out. So one Marine here is gonna get cleared. A couple of these Stalkers, 6 of them. Kind of standing around, having a good time. The Robobay is gonna get plopped down behind all of this. This Robobay is so insanely late, holy cow. Holy cow. Ooh, a snipe there on the combat shield. All of a sudden that Robobay feels very timely. Stim as well, Clem. What? Clem forgot that he had assets here in his main base or something? What in the world was this? Oh no, chaos and destruction. What felt like an almost unlosable game here for Clem now is turning into quite a crap fest, to be honest. No stim in combat. That's another 100 seconds that MaxPax is going to get for free. Barracks here being taken out as well. MaxPax is owning. If there's no bunker here and there's only 1 tank, that means that these Stalkers are going to be so good for such a long time still. Because there's nothing to catch them. Please don't lose them though. Please don't lose them for free. Clem here is moving out with a non-stim, non-combat army. It's gonna lose 3 marines for free. It's 150 minerals there. Tank needs to siege up in front of the base, but then you still have the high ground over here. Like, MaxPax has just extended his damage window by another 2 minutes total. This is just crazy. It is absolutely mental. Stalkers in the main base, dishing out damage left, right, and center. Just think about how far Clem was ahead after the early game, that this game is still favorable for him. Or perhaps, if you're a balance winding Protoss player, just think about how broken Terran is. See how hard MaxPax needs to outplay him. and Clem is still ahead. How ridiculous is that, guys? A couple more workers are being taken out as the double mine drop did not go spotted. We now have 15 workers going down on the side of Clem. 21 workers falling on the side of MaxPax. And all of a sudden, all that hard work, those marginal gains that MaxPax had been making, all undone with a single mine drop. It was the Raven that caused the distraction in the natural. MaxPax was microing near the third base with his stocks. Oh my god, you see a reflection in the water. God, StarCraft 2 is a beautiful game. Tell me it ain't so. As these zealots are gonna get picked off here, we have a zealot run by, well, a zealot drop in the main base. 4 more are being built here as well. Stalkers now moving in. We have a base trade scenario. The second Colossus is out. I'd love to see a full wall here. I think this is an underrated little feature that Protoss has. If you can take out this command center and recall out, that would be a huge move. He's gonna recall out with just the Stalkers, though. The Colossus has died already. Mines have returned as well. And I think MaxPax is just dead. He tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, Terran is insanely broken. No, I share Terran players. I don't think that. Yeah, Clem is gonna walk in here, take out a lot of workers. Frustrating game for Max, I can only imagine. His early, like his first 5.5 minutes were so ridiculously bad. Then the follow-up became very good, but felt like it was a little bit too late already for him. As Maximus Paximus over here, having a good old time. Just hanging around. But he's dead. 14 SCVs remaining. 14 probes remaining against 46 SCVs. 1-1 upgrades against 0-0. 7 gateways are out, but there's also 5 barracks. And despite this being 2 base versus 3 base, I'm going to heavily favor the player on 2 bases currently. Raven joins up as well. It's not going to have the interference matrix available, but it, of course, is going to maybe throw down an anti-armor missile or perhaps an auto turret. These are all viable plays that you can make. Here comes the blink in forward. Takes out 2 medevacs. Now, if you repeat that move another 60 times, maybe you have a game on your hands, but I don't think that's quite going to be possible. This base gonna get taken out. MaxPax, single G, taps out, and Clem ties up the series with a 1-1 score. And after that action-packed banger, we now find ourselves on Oceanborn, in which Clem sends an SCV across the map at a weird timing. What does it mean? Ooh. Actually, what does it mean? He's gonna go for an eBay block. Look at this. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh boy. Max is not gonna like this. And he's one of those guys that sends his probe down so freaking late. It's one of the things that bothers me a little bit. Most people will rally this probe down just for scouting purpose, but he doesn't. Because he believes he has a good plan against eBay block. No one has a good plan against eBay block. There's no such thing as a good plan against eBay block. Look at this! Clem! No! Oh, what? So this is the normal third base. And now MaxPax is gonna take this base. He's gonna do that voluntarily, but even if he wouldn't have done that voluntarily, he would have been forced into it. So he believes he had free will here, but in reality, we don't have free will. It's the Terrans, they have free will, but Protoss players, no. We sit there and we take it, man. Oh, here comes the thing flying around again. I hate this so much. This monster of the sea, look at him go. Every freaking 25 seconds he comes by. Massive shadow makes you believe there's something going on. Now, this is actually a strategy I'm very worried about. So I'm curious to see how MaxPax is gonna deal with it. What I believe is going to happen is that Clem is going to build 2 Cyclones. And how do you defend 2 bases at the same time from 2 Cyclones while also playing a Stargate opener? Because once your bases are split, you're pretty much forced into Stargate. So this is exactly how I would play if I were MaxPax. He builds a battery here, sends an adept across the map. I think he's going to need Stalkers. I think pure adept, like what you usually would play, is not possible post-patch anymore. So he's gonna see that this is a factory. Now don't forget, this can also still just be Hellions. It's not like there's a little sign telling you, hey mate, this is Cyclone. No, you have no clue. It could be Cyclone, could be Hellion, could be anything. It really could be anything. And boy, is that frustrating. Adept is gonna shade away. And barely is gonna survive. I mean, there's no Stalker here, so an Oracle's gonna get insta-sent. So I'm really curious how he's gonna hold this. Because Adepts can't really kill Cyclones. And Cyclones can kill Adepts. Sounds like an unfair fight to me. As indeed Clem now moving forward. Okay, yeah, this is exactly what I thought was gonna happen. And now 2 cars show up as well. The first 2 probes are going down. Oh, nice cancel there on the shots as this Cyclone goes down. Or sorry, this Oracle goes down. Oh. MaxPax teaching me that I was on the right path all along, because this is exactly how I usually defend too. It's nice to see that great minds think alike. Clem takes the win here on Oceanborn in less than 4 minutes. And puts himself on match point. Game 4 is going to be played on hard lead. What I believe to be relatively good map for Terran. Now, I could describe the features as to why I believe that is. But I don't actually know what features make this map good for Terran. It's just when I play it, I feel uncomfortable. And that's technically a feature as well. That's the ability to make me feel eerie. I struggle with movement on this map as well. I don't know, it doesn't feel very nice for some reason. But when I look at it, I'm not like, oh wow, this feels great for Terran. I guess the very short rush distance. I think this has a rush distance of 32 seconds. Which is the shortest rush distance, I think, tied with another one. I can't remember what the other map is though. Might be Hecate? But I don't think it is. Yeah, it's a very short rush distance. 32 seconds is very, very little. So MaxPax definitely trying to block this CC. He's doing a pretty okay job at that. Look at that. Hello? Like 5 seconds of delay there on that command center. Clem's gonna open up with a barracks into factory. We'll follow up with a reactor as well. SCV gets thrown down. Depot reactor. That's gonna be the play here. Or reactor depot. Is he also building a bunker? Oh, you prick. Oh, you massive, massive prick. You absolute subhuman Terran. He's gonna proxy a starport. No. Or is this world's latest scout? No, he's gonna proxy a starport. God. How are Terrans allowed to whine if this is what they play all day? You know what I'm saying? I hope he gets spotted here. Oh boy, do I. Yes, MaxPax. I wish he would have spotted him like 2 seconds later. This is a great pickoff though. As I think that Clem wanted to proxy a starport and swap these two, but now that he's been found out, he's gonna open up with a Cyclone. Yeah, I think that's what's happening here. I actually know that that's what's happening here. And I'm loving it. I'm loving every second of it. Oh, there goes the Marine. He's dead. No, stays alive. Well, what's your follow-up now? Okay, another starport into a mine. Oh, to a car. What? Oh, Clem, you have some build orders. MaxPax, it's time to run back home with these adepts, let me tell you. Because otherwise Mr. Cyclone comes in, and Mr. Cyclone's not a very friendly guy. Look at that body blocking. Didn't actually do anything, but if it would have, that would have been proper cool. Tried his best there. Robotic facility now on the way. 2 more gates popping off. It's gonna be 3 gate, I guess. Is that what I'm feeling here? Cheeky little 3-gate. Cheeky little 3-gate here from MaxPax. It might just be. It might just be. These adepts will fight this Hellion. Oh, one shot on it. Now the Stalker's gonna pop off as well. Ooh. Something did get spotted. The fact that there's 3 gateways total in a robo facility. So I think Clem is going to be at least somewhat aware of the fact that there most likely is going to be a Blink Stalker attack heading his way. We have a single mine out. It's going to go across the map to try and drop. This Prism having a blast. Being sent out. It's going to be 3-gate, right? That's what I said, yeah. 3-gate is what I said. 3-gate is what it's going to be. As Clem... Yeah, I feel like Clem is one of the only Terrans that has actually figured out that if you're playing against 3 or 4-gate Blink, is that the timing of the mine drop doesn't matter so much. It is the surprise of the mine drop that matters the most. So most people would just rush out this mine drop, fly it in, then lose the medevac. That's actually very comfortable for the Blink Stalker player. Because then the medevac is gone. But in this case, what is happening right now, you might be wondering, well, MaxPax is forced into leaving 5 Stalkers at home, and he's just gonna need to expand. That is as simple as it is. He's going to need to expand, build a robo bay, and get the heck out of here. Because otherwise, well, nothing left for him to do. He's gonna try to move in towards the main base, but there's a tank in position there, and these Stalkers are incapable of doing anything. Look at that! Single mine, capable of keeping 5 Stalkers busy here. Clem has figured it out. After years of thinking, Terran players are like, wait a second. What if I don't lose my mine drop? Would that perhaps be a better play? It took them 7 months. Holy crap. Oh, what a race. What a race. We're gonna have an assault here in the natural. This bunker is not quite being repaired at all. And there is a tank in the back. As one Marine will get taken out. For the price of a little bit of health on the Stalkers. Forge on the way too. MaxPax forgetting to start his first Colossus for a little bit there. Stim is now over halfway done. I'm actually kind of afraid of the first push. I'm kind of afraid of the first push. Kind of afraid of MaxPax. What is he gonna do against that first push? I don't know. Thermal lance just now starting as... ooh, couple Marines gonna get shot down here. That's nice actually. 4 Marines. Look at that, resources lost. Oh, he also... Wait, he took out a CC? That was not a cancel? Oh, that's a big deal. If that actually wasn't a cancel. It's also possible that it says wrong on my unit's lost stat, but I don't think it does. I think that was not a cancel. That's a lot of money that he killed then with these 6 Stalkers. Impressive stuff here, Max. Impressive stuff indeed. Has okay vision around the map. Observer on the far right. Watchtower on the far right. We have a pylon over here that's going to provide loads of vision. We have a prism over here that's providing a little bit of vision. And an adept on here that's providing a lot of vision. Observer. So there's a full... Just a... Not a ring of fire, but a ring of vision, really. Around. There's an unreleased Johnny Cash song as well. The Ring of Vision. I fell into a beautiful ring of vision. I don't know the second line anymore. It's unreleased anyway, so how would I know that? It's an interesting push here that's coming out. Very similar to the first game, I think, these positions. And there is a Raven here. Of course, incapable of doing anything, that Raven. He's just faking it. He's pretending like he has interference matrix. He's like, be careful, bro. I'm about to throw an interference matrix in your face. And he's like, oh no. In reality, it ain't there. It ain't there, I tell you. Guardian Shield should be used as well as a super battery right now. I love the way that he cleaned this up the first game. Is he gonna be... He's not doing the same thing. He's gonna allow this army into his natural. And if there's one thing you should never do is invite a couple of Marines in your natural. Because they kill your freaking probes. That was a big shot there on those Marines. Clem using a new feature of the Marine that's trying to tank Colossus shots. Didn't entirely work out here. This was a really poor engagement out of MaxPax. Did not use the super battery all that well. And now has lost all of his gate units practically for free. That blinking with those Stalkers was kind of insane, honestly. And not in a good way. As the prism comes back as well. It's like, hey, there's any mines that want to shoot at me? Sure, says that mine. Kills the prism on top of that. Battery is now completely drained out of energy. 100 supply against 83. There's so many medevacs though. Majority of the supply is actually in medevacs and not in units. But the tank still being alive means that you can't break this. Tank protects the mines and the mines protect the tank. That's a good blink away. Now these zealots are coming in. There's still one mine in the far back as well. It's going to connect. And once more, I don't actually think there are enough units here to deal with these 3 marauders. A single Colossus will not quite cut it. As Clem, 97 supply to 75. Long distance mining towards the fort base here for MaxPax. While being undersaturated in the natural is an absolutely wild play. Not a very good one. Colossus pops out in the net as these mines will get cleaned up. MaxPax in a lot of trouble here. Super battery does get activated. That was a big deal. Saving that Colossus there. Big blink forward as well. Clem continues rallying across the map. Would love to see a couple more SCVs being produced instead though. So low on that worker count, making it much more all-in than he really should be. Because his fights have been phenomenal. It's just he hardly has any workers. And that makes this game look close, which it really shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be. Fort base could be on the way. Armory could be on the way. Ghost Academy could be on the way. Here we go. Second eBay and an armory finally. But that is really freaking late. Now I still do think that Clem is massively ahead. Infrastructure, however, is good for MaxPax. That is something to worry about as 5 zealots make their way across the map. Don't forget a lot of the supply still in those medevacs as well. Dark Shrine once again being thrown down. Went so well that first time. That blink didn't quite work out. These zealots trying to dish out some damage are gonna just run away, but a couple go down. Three go down. 3 go down total. As the prism gets sent out across the map. Zealots take the watchtower. And this mine's gonna get cleaned up a little bit better than the previous one. It will fall. Prism gets spotted. That's frustrating. There's no turrets out on the map right now, and a lot of mules have been used. Are we gonna see a similar scenario to that scenario in game number 1, where those DTs just... They didn't necessarily deal that much damage, but they won a lot of time while a fort base was going up. Back then I think Clem's eco position was just a tiny bit worse though, just a tiny bit worse. Vikings are out already. It's gonna make it hard for this prism to get in there, I think. This watchtower is also providing a significant amount of vision here. I didn't even know it doesn't completely cover. Look at that. Well, if you move it properly, I don't think it completely covers, to be honest. 3 DTs are out on the map right now. Do we have turrets? We don't quite have turrets. Not whatsoever. Watchtower now being taken. Here comes the double DT. Clem, are you paying attention? Oh yeah, he sees this. He sees this. He can scan. He can scan. Oh wait, this is MaxPax's vision. Now he sees it, sorry. I was like, oh, he's really controlling those DTs, Mr. Clem. DT's gonna get EMP'd. As there's a DT per base. But yeah, this is such a good hold here. Out of Clem. Especially compared to what happened last time. Another DT was just sneaking by there. I could see it on Clem's vision. Chilling over here. Massive zealot run by coming in as well right now. 147 supply to 174. Beautiful reversal of numbers there. Colossus are here. Super battery is here. Disruptor Nova almost connects. Super battery is going to get activated. And another Purification Nova actually helping out a lot there. One thing that Purification Novas always do is just denying damage output from the Terran army. However, I still believe that Terran army to be just a little bit too big, or perhaps too much of MaxPax is on the other side of the map, as these zealots are coming in and there's really nothing to fight them off here. This natural is toast. GG is gonna get called. This game, this looked kind of one-sided here in the end, but this was so close to being completely flipped, because look at the worker count here in the end. 48 to 63. All of these workers in the natural would have still died most likely. If MaxPax manages to hold just one more warp in at home, I think he can actually win the game. I think he, like here, if this one moves a little bit towards the top right side, takes out that ghost and 2 marauders, that is huge. then that second one could come in, and you have like, if you get one more warp in at any point, I think you're in actually an okay and playable position. Like if you have like 6, 7 more zealots here, because there's really not that many Vikings. This game was really freaking close. But in the end, the Terran is going to win here. Clem takes out MaxPax in the grand final of the ESL Open Cup. This was played on North America in this best of 5. I hope you all did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye bye.